Morning, everyone. Give you a couple of minutes. A few people, I can see a few familiar faces there. Yeah, I'll give you all a couple of minutes to join. The webinar is being recorded. So again, if you want a copy of it afterwards, then happy to share that with you. But no, really excited. I think we've been talking about this one for a while. So it's great that we're able to get it out in the open and start sharing it with everyone. In terms of the running order for today, it's a little bit about who we are. We're then going to jump into doing a demo. So we'll look at it from both sides. So from the socket side, what the integration is going to look like, what it will look like for your clients. And then we'll look at Adfin and how you can take advantage of that. And then we'll talk about the roadmap ahead and questions and answers. But as I say, if you've got questions, then put them in the chat or the question kind of section, and we will keep answering those, keep an eye on those as we go through. So with no more ado, let's do some introductions. So I can recognize a lot of the names in there. I'm John. I'm one of the co-founders of Socket, and I'm really excited today to be joined by Sam and Ciprian. Sam, do you want to give us a quick update on who you are and your role?
Sure thing. Yeah, good morning, everyone. I see a few familiar faces, but definitely some new names as well. So I'm Sam, one of the co-founders here at Adfin, work across kind of all things product and ops. I don't know what ops means still. I think it's like random stuff that no one else wants to do. That's like the less glamorous bit. The more glamorous bit is working with our clients to figure out what they need, and yeah, working with the engineering team to build that. So yeah, super excited that this is now come to life. And Cyprian?
Yeah, excellent. Hi, everybody. Really excited to meet you all. I'm Ciprian. I'm also one of the co-founders here in charge of engineering and technology. I've been working with the Socket team since the early days, and yeah, really excited about this moment. We've been building this and testing it and over testing it for so long, and I'm happy that we're now at the stage where we can show it to you, and some of you already use it. And then we're gonna have multiple people using this integration and getting more value, more efficiency.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's jump in then and start going through things. So I guess what we're aiming to do here, it's about that kind of like seamless integration. So you're creating proposals, but the next logical step on that is how do you get kind of paid? And it's always been a little bit janky in terms of it. I say it's based on an honesty box, or almost today it's been based on an honesty box. Please, can you set up a mandate? And you tick a box and you carry on. So this is really kind of creating that seamless workflow that joins it all together. And I guess this kind of, if you look at what Socket does, we're great at the pricing. We've now got the new leads module. You can create your proposal, you can create your letter of engagement, and then you've got that kind of seamless workflow. But I guess one of the things that's always been missing from this is around that kind of payment. So how can we make sure that you get paid? But I think it's also around the kind of the flexibility. So if I look at my own business, direct debits we've had nailed, but there's always been those, I'd say in most cases, it's self-assessments and directors that we've struggled to get paid for. So I'm really excited around the whole kind of like Adfin integration, that it gives us one tool that we can do absolutely everything with, and it can do a little bit more as well. So really excited to start sharing what we've built. So Adfin, what's that all about?
Yeah, a few things about Adfin. I think more importantly, what do we want Adfin to become? Like, what's our vision? We see a world where everybody, all the small and medium businesses can manage their incomes, their money, and their receivables with no efforts. Right. So imagine a world where you just leave like Adfin and to do all the trick, raise invoices, send invoices, chase invoices, collect payments, reconcile, all of those for you. while you take care of what's more important for your business and providing the best services for your customers, rather than, I know, chasing invoices or synchronizing tools or doing all sort of manual actions. So that's what we want Advent to get at the moment. So what we do is that we are handling everything money in. So we have all the payment methods in one place, everything from direct debits, cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, bank transfers, open banking. They're all in the same dashboard, all available for you. We actually have payment methods that talk between each other. For example, when a direct debit fails, we automatically send a payment link for the user, for the customer to pay by card, which at the moment you need to, most probably it's another manual process you'd have to manage with your current tooling. We have intelligent reminders and chasing built in. So Adfin can send emails, WhatsApp messages, SMS messages to request your customers to pay by bank, by Apple Pay, and so on. We've had cases where we just send a WhatsApp message with a button to pay, and in 5 to 6 seconds the invoice was paid, which is a bit unbelievable in the invoicing world. And basically, Adfin is used as a credit control suite, where both your practice but also your customers you can where you can offer credit control services. You can have everything in one place, manage clients that are at risk, manage your payments, and reconcile that automatically in your accounting systems. And we're fully integrated with your accounting systems. Now we have full-blown integration with Xero and QuickBooks, but we also have the workflows in place for Sage and others that we can still use Adfin efficiently. So basically, instead of using a zoo of tools, a Go Cardless, a Stripe, a Cresco, a Chaser, and yes, I'm naming our competition, you can have everything in one place. It's more efficient for you. It's well integrated. It's a better customer experience. They don't get this is an email from Xero, another one from Go Cardless, another one from Stripe, and so on. They have a consistent branding and messaging. And yeah, it's cheaper overall.
Yeah,
so I think that's Adfin in a nutshell.
I think the convenience is incredible, because it's like we've had so many scenarios where it's can I pay by card? No, you can't. And then it's almost like that bit, the expectation of, well, can you do a transfer? Yeah, okay, but people have never got the time to do it, or it's never the right time. Whereas bringing in things like Apple Pay is almost then like perfect, because actually there's no excuse why someone can't pay it. And we've got our own examples, Ciprian, whereby we've been chasing someone for months to get paid. We've switched across and we've sent them a request out from Adfin, and pretty much it's got paid straight away. So yeah, thank you for making our life easier and putting a little bit more cash in my own pocket. So thank you very much.
Happy to do that. That's why we exist.
Yeah, no, and I think it's that classic bit of actually how do we join up? So it's like we want less. We don't want more apps. We want less. We want those apps that do absolutely everything for us. So yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I guess the next question is then why have we partnered? And I think from the very first conversation, so I think myself and Carlos had a conversation early doors, and it just felt as though it was a right fit. Adfin's at the start of its journey, Socket's at the start of its journey, and the conversations we've had about building this integration and building it deep has been brilliant. So for me, it's that whole kind of bit of, I think we've got a shared kind of vision. I think we're all getting our hands really dirty. And it's that whole kind of idea of we want to do better for our clients. We want them to give them a better experience. So yeah, I'm really excited in terms of what we've built, but also what we can continue to build together.
So,
should we dive in and have a look?
Yeah, let's look into that.
Yeah.
Let's do it then. Okay, so let's start off with then in terms of how you connect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the risky bit of unconnecting it and then connecting it all back up. again. So let's do that. So the first thing we want is we want you to kind of connect your ledger in first of all. So at the moment, we've got it all seamlessly working with Xero. And then what you'll see behind this flag when we've switched it on for everyone is you'll see this neat little box here, which is connect to Adfin. All you need to do is literally connect to Adfin, click the authorize button, and that's it, done. So we've now got that two-way sync between Socket and Adfin. There's a couple of other things which are worth noting. So it's worth coming in and looking at your billing settings. So again, we want the billing integration should be sending to invoices to Xero. We are going to look in the future whether we can send them direct to Adfin, but for now the key thing here is to send those invoices through to Xero. Now, what you can also do is you can also post all your invoices direct for approval. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to put in the two Adfin invoice types. And the reason we're doing that is because we're not actually going to send the invoices out from Xero. Adfin's going to pick them up and Adfin's going to send them from their own platform. Now, this solves a really big problem because Xero's API has got a real limitation that you can't send a PDF attachment out. So if you've got it set up so that you can send that PDF attachment to multiple people, Adfin's going to help us out with that kind of limitation. So that's really good news there. And that's pretty much it. That's the setup. And then we're ready to go. And in the background, we're doing the syncing. We're doing kind of lots of matching to work out what goes where. So let's then jump in and look at a couple of scenarios. So I'm really lucky that Take That have approached us and they want us to do a proposal. So we're going to jump straight in and we are quickly going to whiz through that proposal. So I've gone in.
Did they not ask you to be a band member, John? Or is that after?
It's close, Sam. It's close. I reckon on the first gig, I'll slip in side stage with a tambourine and that's it. I'll be there forever.
Your services are more tuned to accounting, eh?
Yeah, I have done invoices for five band members as well. So I reckon there's a few people that are going to be coming back, but we'll wait and see. There might be a few spoiler surprises in there.
Do they pay on time?
They will do now.
Yeah.
So we've gone through, we've created a proposal for them, and we've got three different scenarios. We've got compliance only, keep in score, and then full service. So we've gone through, we've configured all of that, and now this is where it gets interesting. So what we've done is previously within the settings, there was a setting for direct debits, and it was almost like, do you want to show an instruction or hide an instruction? Now, with the Adfin integration, that is now coming up front and center. So what we can see is because this is a new client, it's saying to us that it's going to create a new client in Xero and a new client in Adfin. So that's kind of great news. And then what we're going to do is we are then ready to do a final review. And we can then send that out. So I'm going to get the share link. I'm going to bring in my incognito browser. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
So I also work with Spice Girls. So I'm trying to mutate that by giving them a bit of a trailer there. So client's going to see it. They're going to be wowed by my introduction. Gary's going to be really excited. He's going to go through. He's going to see our PDF attachment. And then he's going to get to the options. So I'm sure he'll spend a bit of time looking at these, and I'm sure he's going to go for the full service. A few surprises in there. We have got payroll for 5. So hopefully Robbie's going to be back on tour. We get to the fee summary, and then we get to this direct debit mandate kind of box. So typically we've had that honesty checkbox to say, yes, you can get a mandate, but you've got to tick that box to move forward. If we push it now, what we are effectively doing, can we see that mandate box?
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. What we're going to do is going to fill this in. So Gary's real name is David Archer. So he's going to fill this in. He's all excited. He's clicking continue. We're confirming that that mandate has been set up. And now when I close the window, I'm being directed back to Socket. But what we can also see here is we can see that that direct debit mandate has been signed. So that is quite a big one there that we can actually see whether that's been signed or not.
Yeah, and on this one, right, the customer cannot continue with the flow until they sign the mandate, right?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah. So what we're going to do there, is we're going to sign that. Go the barley. And then we're happy, and we can close that. So we're now back in Socket. We will have got confirmation that that has been signed, and we can see now that we're waiting to confirm a start date. So I am going to change that to July so that I can see that in terms of billing. Let me just... Sorry, I'm just looking at another screen.
Just the questions come in from Donna whilst you're doing that. When is this going to be live from general availability?
Pretty
Can't
much
yet
we're
see it in
good.
integrations.
We're good to go. So we've got a few people that are testing it. And so we are just kind of like finalizing a few things there, but it's going to be there. I'm sure it'll be there for the next billing run for the majority of people in August. We'll try and switch it on before then, and then you can start using it for your ad hoc stuff.
And what you can do, Donna, is we'll share a sign up link, but it's worth just signing up to Adfin ahead of that, and then you can connect to your accounts once it's all ready to go. It's pretty light, our sign up, but there is some like KYB to go through just to verify your business. Typically, it's instant. Worst case, it takes a day or two.
Yeah, perfect. So what we can see straight away then is that what we've done is for Take That, we can see that we've created a new contact in Xero called Take That Limited. And then what we've also done is we've assigned the branding theme for Adfin. And so then that's ready when we get to the next billing kind of scenario. So that's one of the kind of scenarios. What we're going to do is let's go back and look at the proposal. And we're going to look at this one for Mr. F. Spencer. So comedy genius from, I'm going to say the 1980s. And we've pulled together...
Don't know him. Don't know him. You've lost me.
Come on, it's Frank Spencer. I'll do a little impression. He went, Betty. He had a little berry on. Classic.
Okay. Glad I asked.
This is your weekend, Sam, sorting that out. So I know that Frank is an existing customer. So what I'm as I'm going through the workflow, it's literally saying to me at this point is that there's not a customer in place for that. And so I think that in Adfin and Xero, Mr. F. Spencer is actually Frank. So what we can do in this scenario is we can come in, I can search for Frank Spencer. We can see Frank there. I can save that. And now it will then show me that it's now linked to Frank Spencer and Adfin, and we've already got a direct debit mandate in place with Frank. So that's super happy. I can then send that out and we won't prompt Frank for a direct debit mandate. So again, this is a really neat way of getting your clients to kind of re-engage with you or help with that kind of switch process if you come in from another provider, but we're trying to make it as seamless as possible. And you can see that what we're trying to do is enable you to stay in that single workflow, so you're not jumping around. So we've dealt with Frank, and then the last scenario we're going to look at here is Ridgeway Bank. So as we go through Ridgeway Bank, sorry, this is the boring scenario. So we're doing payroll for them. And so what we can see here is, because this is an existing customer, we would normally hide the direct debit mandate instructions. But what I can see here is that whilst they exist in Adfin and Xero as a client, they don't have a direct debit mandate in place. And so what I can do here is I can tick that, and then what it will do is it will then prompt the client to create that direct debit mandate. So it will prompt Amy to create that direct debit mandate. So again, it's what you're probably used to at the moment is you're diving around between different kind of sources to try and match everything up. We're bringing it all together so you can see that in one place. So hopefully that's really exciting for you. The other bit that I want to jump to as well is, and where I can see Adfin working in my own practice workflow, is around things like self-assessments and the collecting on demand. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing a self-assessment for Jimmy Carr. And in the past, he's been quite a bad payer. So what I'm going to do now for Jimmy is I'm coming into the contact, I'm finding Jimmy, and then I'm jumping across to this invoicing tab. And if I click on demand and then save that, when I go to create Jimmy's invoice from within Socket, what that's going to do is that's going to apply the branding theme for on demand. And so once I've then created that invoice, that's going to get picked up by Adfin, and then they will do their seamless chasing, and I'm going to get paid on time this year. So yeah, super happy to be getting paid on time.
I thought Jimmy Carr didn't pay tax, so
he's paying his
surely
accountant.
it's not.
He's paying his
Okay.
accountant, Sam, so he
So
doesn't
evade.
have to pay. So
You're
yeah,
that kind of accountant, are you? Like...
£200. It's £200 for a assessment, Sam.
Okay.
Bargain.
I'll drop you a message after.
Perfect. So that's the bit that I wanted to kind of share from a Socket side. Sam, I think you're going to give us a bit of a whirlwind view.
Yeah, great demo. You've
Thank
set the
you.
bar high.
I've been practicing.
Pressure's on now. Good stuff. Yeah, so I'll do a quick kind of whirlwind tour of Adfin. So let me bring my screen up. If I could find the screen, it would be a good start. Here you are. So yeah, as Ciprian said, really Adfin today. You can ingest invoices from anywhere. You see that now includes the Socket integration through to Xero. You can manage those invoices to get paid via direct debit, cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Pay by Bank. But then we built out kind of a credit control management dashboard to help you manage all of that activity when your customers aren't great at paying. And then also we have kind of dashboards to help you manage both how your customers are set up, but also cash flow and reconciliation. So I'm going to quickly show three things. The first is just explaining a little bit more how the branding themes work with Adfin and how to set those up when you first configure your account. I'm going to show you our chasing, which are kind of reminders and workflows, because that's where a lot of the kind of power and automation of Adfin lives. And then just quickly show you some of the information that's kind of available on the dashboards and how you can use that. So first up, just to cover how we work with Xero and how those kind of invoices come through. So we saw John showed where you set up that billing configuration with a client. You can select which branding theme template you'd like the invoice to be created on. So when you first set up your Adfin account, we'll prompt you to create two new branding themes. One which you can call something like Adfin On Demand, and one and Adfin Auto Collect. What that enables you to do is if you select the on-demand branding theme from Socket when that billing configuration is set up, that will come through to Adfin, and that will be sent to the client for that kind of one-time payment request. If you select Auto Collect, then that invoice is going to come through where the client has an active direct debit mandate, then we'll automatically schedule that payment to be taken from the client on the due date of the invoice. If they don't have a mandate, which I don't know, John, is that a viable scenario with the Socket integration? You can select auto collect even if no mandate
Yes,
has been.
so there's no reason, Sam, that you couldn't go in and change all of your clients to auto collect, and then you're literally relying on Adfin to do all of the direct debit mandates and kind of chasing it. So absolutely, you could go in, set everyone to auto collect, and then you could.
Yeah, nice. So in that scenario, we'd send the invoice with a direct debit mandate request. And in the future, we'll be allowing kind of more combinations of card payment requests and direct debit mandates as well, because we hear from our clients that actually a lot of the time their preference would be for their client to sign a mandate and they want to offer that option. But sometimes, client won't sign that mandate for whatever reason. So I'd like to put a card payment link on there as well.
And
but
Sam,
this is how,
if a client hasn't, you've sent a mandate, you will also then chase them to make sure that they complete that mandate as well. So it's not where we are right now or where we were yesterday of we send out a link and it's almost like tumbleweed, and it's that bit of, I think this is the bit that's always frustrated me. You're ringing up a client with that bit of nagging them, and it's not what you want to do from day one. So the fact that you're chasing is brilliant.
I think that's exactly it. Blame it on Adfin as well for chasing you. Like, client goes, it's really annoying. Yeah, Adfin is really annoying, but sign it and we'll stop annoying them. That's the way to go. So that's how we work in terms of which invoices come through to Adfin. It's also worth noting that actually if you use a non-Adfin branding theme, then the invoice won't come to Adfin at all. So let's say, some of our customers might have a couple of clients where the kind of value is very, very high, and they're good payers and they want to just send that through the existing channel. That's not a problem. And I won't cover this in too much detail, but kind of headline is that we automate the invoice being paid on Xero. So when the invoice is paid in Adfin, we'll automatically create a payment in Xero from the customer to a new ledger that we call Adfin Bank. When we then pay out for the payment, typically in bulk, to your business bank account, we'll create a transfer on Xero from Adfin Bank to your business bank ledger on Xero, and that's how you reconcile. So we have more kind of help in the console that I'll show shortly. But yeah, we automate all of that kind of interaction. Nice. So that's a bit around just how the configuration works. Wanted to quickly show workflows. So we have workflows for those on-demand payment requests where you're asking the client to pay by card or a wallet. And really here you have full customization. So we have some preset kind of chasing workflows for you, or you can create a brand new workflow. So let's do one now. So we can say, John is a really terrible payer. Sorry, you're there. You can add a bunch of reminders to say, actually, I want to really get to him. I'm going to WhatsApp him. I'm going to SMS. You can choose kind of when you're doing that based on the due date. But the nice thing here is you can set up your own custom workflows. You can configure that at account level. You can also customize it at the client level, and also even at the invoice level. And all of that can be changed like even after you've sent an invoice. So let's say you sent it where you met John, you thought he was a good, trustworthy guy, and 2 weeks later you figure out that it might not be the case. Then you can bump up
It
his.
happens, Sam. It
It
happens.
happens. You can bump up his workflow to something a bit more kind of aggressive.
And Sam, will that send it to more than one person? So if you've got multiple contacts against the customer, it will nudge.
Great call out. Yeah, exactly. So the way that logic works is any contacts on your Xero that are marked as being included in email comms, we automatically sync that through when the customer's imported, and we'll be sending that to all of the contacts. So that can either, I know some people also have like the Dext email or the Apron email kind of CC'd from a payables perspective. Adfin will then send it to that email as well.
Yeah, so I think it's another good reason to then make sure that your contacts' phone numbers are all up to date, because actually this is going to be how they're used, the source of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
And people love
we-
the WhatsApps, right? From what we see, I mean, initially men are a bit reluctant, like, do I really want to WhatsApp people, until they see they really get paid faster. And I know if they don't have a WhatsApp, we fall back and send an SMS, for example. So we just take care of all those scenarios for you.
And if they haven't got a mobile phone, the boys go round. Is that right?
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
that.
We send the team.
All for 1% plus 20 pence. It's
Boom.
great value. Good stuff. So that's on the on-demand side. For auto collect, you can also kind of configure what happens in certain scenarios. Probably the key things to mention here is that, exactly as you said, John, you can configure kind of how frequently you're reminding someone to sign that mandate. So you can select how many kind of days you send them nudges for. And also the key thing that we have we've done pretty much from day one of building direct debit is we've always wanted to align our incentives to the client results. So we don't charge for retries. We only ever charge for successful payments. You can select how many times you'd like a direct debit payment to be retried, up to 3 times. And then you can also automatically send a card payment request as a backup if the direct debit still hasn't, if it keeps on failing. So I think that's a really nice one. Like, it's one of those things that, hopefully it won't happen too frequently, but then when it does, it just saves you, 5, 10, 15 minutes of messing around, saves you missing it, and maybe gets cash in a little bit earlier.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Nice. And then I'll quickly just show some of the dashboards. So we recently added this kind of credit control view. So we're automatically tagging invoices and payments into certain categories. So right now, an invoice is classed as at risk, either if it's overdue on the on-demand workflow, or if it's had a kind of failed payment against it previously for direct debit, or if the mandate's been cancelled. So we see a bunch of people, their kind of default thing where they go to Adfin will be, right, click at risk. What do I need to think about taking an action on kind of next time I talk to the client? You can also go in here, you can see exactly what's been happening with the invoice. So we even show where the client has seen they've gone to the payment link. So really, sometimes maybe you don't call the bluff, but you can see have they actually seen this or not. And you can see exactly, which emails have been sent and also the upcoming activity as well, based on the workflow.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's the classic bit of no, I haven't seen it. It's like,
Yeah, that guy Chip is a really good paying customer from what I know.
There's a lot of overdue though. It's strange, isn't it? From here, we also have like a client-based view where you can see basically all of the activity going on at the client level. You can see, it's not a good example. You can see which invoices stack up against them and everything else going on there. You can also, I mentioned, you can change workflows at the client level. So that's where you do this. And you also have the details here of the direct debit mandate that's been signed with the client. So we actually get this quite a lot, or well, now our customers do, where the client can't remember which bank they signed the mandate with, and they want to quickly check. So now you've got a masked account number, so it's nice and secure, and the sort code of the bank.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Nice. And I think lastly, but I've probably forgotten stuff, and Ciprian could give me a nudge on that. But we recently reskinned our payouts dashboard. We even came up with a new name for it, so it's now called Transactions. But the nice thing here is that for every time we initiate a payout from Adfin to your bank, typically that payout in the case of direct debit and cards, that's going to be a lump sum based on all of the payments which were processed on a given day. So for cards, it's 2 working days later when we make that payout. For direct debit, I'm very pleased to say, as of yesterday, it's now 4 working days. So we've improved those settlement times by 2 days. That's a tricky one that the team's been working on for a while. But the nice thing here, so you can see exactly which, and again, that's a better one. So you can see exactly which kind of invoices or payment requests were contained in a specific payout. You can select these, download them to CSV if you're still kind of managing your reconciliation from Excel. But again, you have the kind of the reconciliation on zero, which tells you which invoices have been paid and confirms that the right amount has been paid out from Adfin based on what's arrived in your bank. And then if you want to see additional information on kind of exactly which invoices did a payout relate to, then that's where you get it from here.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And it's great now demoing Ciprian because we've got this. So we've been working on a bunch of kind of new things recently. I'll just quickly run through this for the existing users. So this is all, I think, in the last 3 weeks. So we've been busy. Whilst some of the team are just going around the country in a van, the engineers are still here grafting. Fast assessment times by 2 working days. This is more around kind of the invoice upload, but we've just done a bunch of upgrades for when you're uploading invoices directly to Adfin. You can now download all of your data straight into CSV. Basically Adfin is probably, unrecognizable is the wrong word, but it's certainly visually changed a lot even in the last kind of 4 weeks across the transactions dashboard and credit control view. And lots more coming that I think
it's
we're
looking
going to
good,
touch
Sam.
on.
It's looking good. It's looking good.
Great stuff.
Thank you for that. Let's just jump back and kind of wrap things up then. We've got some positives, really nice things to kind of share with you. One thing before, if you're an existing Go Cardless user, and I think this was before 2021, and you might have been using Go Cardless for Zero, one of the things that you'll need to do is you will need to just switch off your branding themes so that it's only on the ones which relate to Go Cardless. And I will stick in the link that URL so that if anyone wants to, they can kind of preempt getting set up on Adfin and make those little tweaks. The next bit is join the club.
Yeah, we love accountants and bookkeepers. So Adfin was built since the early days together with accountants and bookkeepers. We understood how you operate, how you work in Xero, how you work in QuickBooks and Sage and other tools, and then what level of reconciliation would be appropriate, and also like, yeah, how can we just create more efficiency for you? But we also work with your clients, so we also help accountants to manage credit control for their clients, or make the lives of your clients better. So what we've learned also is that non-accountants, they don't quite like touching Xero or QuickBooks because they mess things around. They might create a wrong invoice, or I know, avoid the wrong invoice, or you name it. We will hear so many stories. So we've seen that the scenario where your clients use Adfin to raise their invoices, to manage their payments and everything, while you get a real-time view in your Xero or in your QuickBooks account. And that's why we basically create this accountant and bookkeeper club, this ABC club, where basically, if you're an accountant or a bookkeeper, you immediately get included in this club, which gives you really good support from our team and personalized support, and also access to features before everybody else, and some other exclusive perks like the van visiting your practice these days. And as you refer more customers into Adfin, so your customers becoming Adfin users, your prices just get lower. We start Adfin at 1% plus 20p per transaction. This includes direct debits, domestic car payments, open banking, and all of the payments. And as you refer more businesses, you can reduce that cost for you. If you have 3 businesses using Adfin, it's already 0.85%, and it can even go to free if you get 25 referrals. Many of accountants, we have around 500 accountants now using the platforms, and many of them refer their users, their customers into Adfin, and they love it. And it just basically makes it easy. And you can refer that directly from Adfin. You have a referral button. You can just send that link to your customers and help them set up. And you just get paid faster and pay less for payments. This is a link. I'm sharing a link now to our ABC Club. Check it out. We detail there all the benefits, all the perks, and
It's a race, isn't it? It's a race to get to that 25 referrals, and 20p per transaction is massive. I imagine there's lots of people there that are going to save quite a bit of money and have a better service as well. So yeah, that's great news. Absolutely great.
You'll be one of the first ones, right, John? You'll be one of the first goals.
Yeah, I'll send everyone my referral code straight afterwards, and if everyone can use that to sign up to Adfin, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
So in terms of what's coming then, so a couple of things here to talk through, Ciprian.
Yeah. So there are some things that are cooking, both between to make the integration better. Some of them on the Advil side, some of them as a joint project. The one that we're releasing towards the end of this month, beginning of next, is automatic invoice migration. So think about in your Xero or QuickBooks account, you might have already, I don't know, 300 clients that already that are not on an admin running team. They might even get collected with by a standard payment method. So we are now releasing a feature to help you automatically migrate those invoices to admin. What that means is that in the moment the customer will sign the mandate with Socket, or you can sign those mandates in bulk direct with admin. When the mandate is signed, we update the invoice, the recurring invoices, and the one-off invoices in Xero, and swap them into the admin branding theme, and then trigger the collection for them right away. So basically, reduces all the manual work you'd have to do to move your invoices and customers to admin.
Nice.
We do appreciate everybody that at the moment everybody has done that manually. That you've sent the mandates, and then when they sign, you're looking at the emails and went into Xero and changed the branding theme. Thank you all for doing that and for the patience, but now we're automating that and very excited about that.
Yeah. And I think that's an interesting point there you make, Ciprian, about we're listening, like both teams are listening to our clients and we want the feedback. We don't, if there's a little niggle you've got, we want you to kind of share that with us, because that's how we build a better product. And I'd say that's the difference between us and competitors, is that actually we are listening. We're working hard to make it a better process for you.
Yeah, exactly. And another one that the team is now working on is recurring payment requests, like payment requests without an invoice attached, but also installments. All of them being managed fully through Adfin, and you can use the integration for that as well, which will then allow you to negotiate either as a credit control function to split an invoice into installments, or maybe as a one-off agreement with your clients on a larger invoice to split it in multiple in a few chunks of payments. All of that will be fully automated through Adfin. The last one, but not the least, is the QuickBooks integration. So Adfin works with QuickBooks. Now Socket is also is building to work with QuickBooks, and therefore everything we've seen today as a demo on Xero will work identically for QuickBooks as well.
Yeah,
really excited to get that.
I think before we kicked off the webinar, we were talking about there's a lot of people who are frustrated with that kind of user experience around QuickBooks. So that's pretty exciting, of almost like that bit of how already, if you're an admin user using QuickBooks, you can take advantage of it, but let's join that up with Socket as well. So that's going to be really, really good moving forward. So in terms of, we've got a couple of offers for people. So if you sign up, and Ciprian's just put that link in, you'll automatically get the bronze tier if you sign up before the 30th of August. So that's a saving straight away, and it's kind of like nudging you on that journey of referring other clients. So that's definitely one worth signing up to. And then to match that, we've also done an offer for people that are signing up to Socket, and we're going to give 25% off for 3 months. If you're paying monthly, we've got that adfin-monthly code. Let me just put that in the chats.
I see, John, you're doing one extra day versus us. We're before the 30th, you're before the 31st. You've got to go one better, haven't you?
Well, I mean, Sam, how many days are there? It's like January, February, March, April, May, June, July.
Who wrote that one.
August. It's got 31 days in it. I'm sure you could extend that, can't you?
We'll think about it. Yeah, if any trickle in on the 31st.
Let's do that now. Let's make the decision. We extend the 31st of August.
Perfect. I will. Let's do that live. Let me go back. I thought it was going to refresh. I've changed
Google
it.
doesn't agree.
All right. You have our words.
Sam says, so if everyone's going to wait now until the 31st, Sam, just to make sure that you're a man of your word. So that's it. Hope you're all as excited as we are with it. I can see there's a couple of questions that have come in whilst we've been taking you through the presentation, but I don't know.
Yeah, we've answered those.
There was a question if there's a cap on the fee. So we do cap direct debits and all the open banking payments to £4. Cards are always a percentage. That's how the card scheme works. But direct debits and open banking payments are capped to £4.
Amazing, perfect. So without any
beyond the cap on direct debit, it's also important to know that we don't charge for retries. We know that many of you, it's my direct debit for my gym just failed this morning, which means that my gym has to pay £5 now because I forgot to top up my bank account, which I don't think that's fair. So we only charge you for successful payments. So any retries, any failed payments, it's on us. We think that's fair that we only charge you if we've done our job and the payment is successful.
And I know there's a number of people that are quite frustrated around that kind of recharge fee. And what's also even more frustrating is that the accounting behind it is a freaking nightmare. So yeah, it's just making life so much easier as we go along. So no. If you've got no more questions, should we call it a day?
Excellent. Well, thanks for having us, John.
No, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure to be working with you, and I'm excited about where we can take both our products in the future. So thank you very much, and I hope everyone has a great day. Take care.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.